Hi, I'm Jules with the Victor Voice, and I'm here with
Miss Pyle.
I have a few questions for her today. So first of all, have you felt welcome at Victor so far?
Yes, so far everybody has been super nice. When I've gotten lost, they've told me where to go, so that's nice. No, but even the students that I've had to call down to the office for like disciplinary reasons have been very respectful, and the adults have been very welcoming.
So you came from Charlotte High School. What are some similarities and differences between Charlotte High School and Victor?
Charlotte High is a bit bigger. We had about 1,900 students there, so that was a little bit different, but I'd say we probably have the same number of staff members. So the great thing, about Victor has been the class sizes are smaller, the interactions between the students and teachers are more small group. Even in some of the special education classes, having 2 teachers all the time, that's really a great thing that we didn't have there. Some other differences, dress code down there, which maybe you wouldn't expect because it's like 1,000 degrees, is super strict. Like if a girl has this much of her midriff showing, like she has to change. And here, dress code is like, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And we don't make it that big of a deal.
Stemming off of what you just said, would you say that our priorities are in line at Victor?
I would say so. Definitely the students here are treated more like individuals, more like, young adults rather than children, which I find very refreshing. And the staff here is really given a lot more autonomy in terms of, teaching and how they want to bring different things into their classrooms and things like that, which is also really great.
What's one thing that you want students at Victor to know about you?
I'm here to help you guys. I'm here when you're having an issue and you don't know how to handle it. Just because you come to the office to talk about it doesn't mean that I necessarily have to jump in and fix your problem. Part of discipline is learning, and it's our job to help you learn how to handle your problems on your own. But I don't want anybody to ever be afraid to come and talk to me about something that's going on in their life or that they need help with.
What would you say is the most important thing that you bring to Victor?
A lot of experience. I've been in administration for 11 or 12 years now, and I just have a wide variety of experiences that are much, much different than up here. So having kind of that outsider's view and bringing new ideas that maybe haven't been thought of because everybody is, from around here, I think is a really big asset that I bring to the table.
What are some things that you notice about Victor that you like?
There's a lot about Victor that I like. A couple things that I really kind of stood off right off the bat is the amount of support that the students here get. I'm coming from a school of almost 1,900 students, and we had 4 guidance counselors, 2 school social workers, and 1 psychologist that was there 1 day a week. And then coming into a school that is about 500 students less, having 6 guidance counselors and 3 full-time psychologists and 2 full-time social workers is just, it blew my mind when I started. Another thing that really stood out to me was how accepting and open people are here to really express themselves, be themselves, and feel accepted.
What are a few things that you've noticed about Victor that you think need to change?
One is definitely the cell phones, so that'll be interesting to see how that plays out for next year with the new law, because being in classrooms, I have seen a lot of cell phones. Another thing I noticed really the very first week I was here, when I was out in the hallway between classes and the bell rang, and I was looking around and there were just students everywhere, and so I asked the teacher whose classroom I was right by, I was like, oh, is that the warning bell? Like, students have 1 minute to get to class now or something? And he's like, no, that's like the class's starting bell. And I was like, but there's so many kids in the hallway. And he's like, yeah, something to work on. So, I think tightening that up a little bit is probably a good idea.
I have 2 more questions. These are more fun questions to get to know you. So, since you've been in Rochester, have you tried any of the Rochester or Victor food staples?
Well, I don't know what the Victor food staples are, so probably a no on that one, but you're gonna have to tell me in a minute.
Okay.
But I have tried the garbage plate at a few places, so that's pretty cool.
Who's your favorite musician?
My favorite musician right now is actually Post Malone because of his country album. So I love country music. I do love some of his other songs, but his country album is, I want to say, probably one of my favorite albums that I've ever listened to. I thought it was good.
Thank you so much for doing this interview.
Of course.
And I'll do an outro later.